Micheal. Micheal.
Hey everybody, Kenny Hubbard here, Razor Edge Productions, here with Micheal Archer today. The Grinch. Everybody's seen his car this year. I gotta know this before I know anything else, and I think everybody else does too. So you got the Grinch on your car. If you ain't seen it, go check out the video Shana made. You get a good look at the car, or go check out Michael's page. What's the deal with the Grinch?
We just like the Grinch. My wife's really obsessed with the Grinch, and the Grinch on the car last year actually started as a little bit of a joke. I just kind of made a little deal for the car, sent it to her, and joking with her, said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this on the car next year," and she goes, "I bet you don't." So, of course, we had to do it.
So you did.
Yep.
In typical fashion.
Right.
You said I won't,
Yep.
so now
She said
I
we
gotta.
won't, so now we gotta do it. I know.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. So Michael's been racing off and on for 9 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Dabbling in and out, kind of trying to get into the sport. What brought you into racing?
So I grew up next door to Sharon and Elbert Scroggum, and so I kind of grew up watching Danny racing a little bit, and then I don't remember what year at all, but my Uncle Charlie Reed started racing, and so we kind of started going to the track a little bit, watching him, and then I started dating my wife, Ariel, and her dad, Jeff, races, so that was kind of the last push to get me into racing.
Michael's father-in-law is Jeff Dowdy, 77.
Yep.
So that being with her and being around him racing, that kind of gave you the final push to want to get a car.
Yep. I had a lot of help and support from him to kind of get started and into it, and so that helped a lot.
Get going in the right direction. What kind of car did you start out in?
The very first car I ever bought was a full body car. It was an old G body. We raced pure or street stock at first with a borrowed 355 from Jeff and Dale, and it had troubles. We ended up finding another motor, throwing it in there, and dropped down to pure stock and raced that. And then from there we went to Camaro the next year. So I spent 2 or 3 years in a pure stock, and then the Midwest mod deal kind of started coming out when Hoffman created it, and that's when I chose to kind of try and go the modified route. We raced it for I think about 2 years, and then life kind of happened, with the kids starting to get a little bit bigger and growing up, so stepped out of it, and then all these tracks locally, they all started shutting down, and it was too far to travel and cost too much. And then when Jerry opened the track back up down there at Butler, we found another car, kind of lucked into it and bought it.
Wanted to get back into it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I'd always told her, for some reason Adrian or Butler ever open back up, I don't care, I'm racing. So
It's hard not to race when you're a racer with a track that close.
it is. It really is.
The Butler track's a lot of fun. Adrian was a lot of fun back in the day. I wish I never got to race on that track.
I got to drive around it one time. My Uncle Charlie had a late model, and we did a gift exchange, and his present to everybody or whoever was for chance to, he rented the track from Glenn and got to go out and drive the car around. So I got to drive his late model around for like 3 or 4 laps around it, and it was
That's pretty cool.
It was fun. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So so you're in a Midwest mod now.
Mm-hmm.
Been in a Midwest mod for 2-3 years here now.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yep.
Michael is the 22 car.
Yep.
Not the 22A. I thought it was the 22A was what he was registered as. I could have swore, but
that's all. Whoever ends up beating registration first
gets the 22.
Yeah, I kind of got stuck with I think it was 2 years ago. I got stuck with the A because somebody beat me with 22. So.
Gotcha. So, who's your favorite driver? Who's your inspiration?
I don't really know. There's just a collective group of people growing up and watching and being around. I really can't pick one, honestly.
So local guys, national guys?
Mostly local guys. You know, growing up watching Danny race, watching Jeremy Short race, watching Matt Johnson race, Alan Ferguson for a few years. Just a large collective group of guys. You know, all the local guys.
Right, we've had some of the best in the business come right through. Some of the
quite a
best
few.
in the modified game raced right here at Adrian Speedway.
For sure.
And we got to watch them as kids. Michael and I grew up in the same town, just a few years apart, so we're pretty familiar with each other. So what's been your favorite race to date?
I don't know. Probably the Turkey Bowl. 2 years ago when we went down, it was pretty fun. Leading the, what was it? I think it was my B feature. Led most of it and then got up in some slick and the car pushed and then shoved back down the track into somebody. But that was probably running around beating everybody. It was probably I should have had that one along with it.
That's the most fun in racing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's also the most stressful point this year.
It is.
How hard do I go? Hard enough
hard enough
to not spin out.
Try and hold her wide open the whole time and hope it sticks.
Yeah, that's a fun place to get around down there
I
too.
love Springfield, yep.
What's so that being said, what's been your favorite track to run on?
Springfield's kind of up there. Gone to Monette a couple times. Monette was a blast. It's a little bit tricky because the straightaways are so long. You come out of the corner, especially in the Midwest mods, and the sucker takes forever to get wound up. And then once it's finally getting good and wound up, it's time to set it into the corner again. But I'd say probably Springfield, maybe ECS, and then probably Wheatland, the old Wheatland, for sure. Very first time I ever raced was at Wheatland. We went down there and one of Jeff's street stocks hit one of his Camaros. He let me take down, and I didn't know it. The first time I went down, it was one of the very first big buck 50s, and we didn't know. And I drew, and in my heat drew pole. And I like to crap my pants when them guys all wound up and come
to life. Holy cow!
Gosh, it was wild. But,
for a brand new guy, that's a hell of a field to start.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know about starting up there, Jeff. Can I draw back? He's like, yeah, but what are you out? Just told your line. All right, we'll try it. But the old Wheatland is probably third favorite.
Where all did you get to run in 23?
We ran Nevada and ECS as a whole. We started the season out at Nevada, had some bad luck, and then about mid-season we went ahead and started coming up here. I figured if I was going to get tore up, I was going to get tore up close to home.
A little closer
so I didn't
to home.
have to drag my tail for an hour all the way home.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. So what do you think's been the biggest impact on your racing?
Probably just the friends and family I've made, being around racing and being around everybody. And there's a lot of guys, growing up here, there's a lot of guys that are from Adrian that Butler's brought the ability for them to race too. And so I think that's helped a lot. It's pretty cool going out there and racing with a lot of guys you grew up with and you've been around your whole life.
Guys you're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been easy for us to create a family out of that. And it's good competition.
It is.
And we don't let a rivalry get built with it. It's good competition. We all push each other.
Yep.
And I think it works out good. we were going out of town and having carburetor issues, and Michael said mine was great. Pulled it off his car and sent it with us just in case. So that's just the kind of race family we have.
Yep.
And I enjoy it. I'm sure
It's
these
fun.
guys do too.
It's fun. It gets a little heated from time to time, you know.
So what do you got planned on the car for 24? Are we gonna see the Grinch coming back in some fashion here?
No. We're gonna stay pretty simple this year. I like to change it up every year. About the only thing that doesn't really change is the design of the number. Everything else, I like to switch up and change around, you know, something different every year. So this year we're gonna kind of go back to a more basic car. I don't think we're gonna do any kind of graphics or anything on it. We're just gonna have solid color and sponsors and number on it.
I like the Grinch thing. I was hoping that the Grinch would come back in some way.
The body's still out there, so if something comes about, we can throw her on there.
Well, that'll be hopefully that doesn't happen, but
I know.
that's racing. That's part of it. Accept it, I guess.
Yep.
Well, is there anybody you'd like to thank that's helped you on this journey, got you to where you are today?
There are so many. My father-in-law, of course, and Dale, his dad, and his brother Trey, they all were a really big part of me being able to get started. Albert and Danny have helped me quite a bit. My Uncle Charlie's helped me quite a bit. My parents, they stepped up last year and especially this year and kind of jumped in and helped me out. My brother-in-law and sister, helped a ton. My brother-in-law, especially Friday nights, he works weekends, but Friday nights when we're down in the pits, he and Dad are my pit crew. They're almost always there helping. And then Kevin Boyles with KB Pipe and Fence. He jumped on board with me the year we got back into racing 2 years ago, and has been with me ever since, and doesn't seem to be wanting to leave. So he's helped out a ton.
It's nice to have good relationships like that.
And then the same with Justin Erickson. And Justin's going to yell at me because I'm going to probably say it's either JEA or JAE. I can't remember how it goes. Customizations. He's helped me out every year, and he's also been a really big part of helping out and getting things started. And then I almost forgot, and I'd have gotten yelled at for this too. Robbie Benford, Ariel's brother-in-law, he's
big country.
Big country tie up. He's been an enormous help too. And then this year we've got a couple we're working on, talking to. I got to go talk to that I think are going to come on board. So I think we've got some big plans for next year. I think kind of waiting. I know they had that meeting today, so waiting for them to post the new rules and everything, and see kind of what they're coming out with the Midwest mod rules, and we're kind of on the fence with, are we going to stay Midwest mod or are we just going to step up to beat mod? I haven't totally made the decision yet, but
kind of waiting to see what the rules
package
package
that'll be a
looks
big
like.
point. Yeah, there's some things I think personally need addressed, and if they address them, we'll probably stay with Midwest mod. If they don't, then for the money we're in already, we just will step up to B mods and try to make a little bit more money maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we sure appreciate your time, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys.
And I'm glad you took the time to sit with us, tell us a little bit about yourself, and
No problem, anytime.
we look forward to seeing you in 2024.
I can't wait.
Racing door to door, baby.
Bloody, can't wait.
Thanks, brother.